right, boys and girls, we have a short phonics lesson. But if we want it to be pretty short, then that means I need you to stay focused, ready to go, so we can get this lesson done and move on for our day. Now, we're first going to go over and review some sentences and what punctuation we will put there. So I'm going to read a sentence. If it is a declarative sentence, you're going to go whoop. If you're going to have an interrogative sentence, we're going to go whoop. If it is an exclamatory sentence, we're going to go woo. And if we have an imperative sentence, which is a command, we're going to go whoop. Okay. Deacon, you have a conduct mark because you're just trying to get people to laugh at you, so you need to fix it quickly. Do you understand me? Okay. Sit up straight and tall. Let's see if you can figure out these sentences and put the right punctuation with it. We visited Rocky Mountain National Park. Good, declarative sentence. Have you been there? Good, interrogative. I saw 5 elk near the entrance. Declarative, yes. The elk had a huge rack on its head and was so big. Do you like snow? I saw a lot of snow blowing on top of the mountain. Good. Look at that picture I took. Good. Imperative sentence. Nice job. All right, boys and girls, we have been learning, eyes on me, we have been learning about all the different words in a sentence and how they are used. We have learned about nouns, which tell us of a person, place, or thing, and it can also be the main noun can be called a subject. We have learned about verbs, which gives us the action in the sentence. We have learned about adjectives, and adjectives describe what class?
Nouns.
Nouns. And we can answer what 2 questions with nouns? What are my 2 questions for nouns, Kaden?
How many?
How many? And what's my other question? Kenzie?
What kind?
What kind? Okay, so those are my 2 questions for adjectives. Now, when we are reading a sentence, Jackson, put it on my desk. When we are reading a sentence, what are we going to look at first? Or what are we going to find first in a sentence? Addison?
Usually we'll find first in the sentence if it's done correctly a capital letter.
No, like when we're looking for words and we're deciding noun, adjective, verb, what are we looking for first?
How many?
No. Which one are we going to find first? The noun, the adjective, or the verb?
Noun.
Luke?
The verb.
The verb. What do we find first, Addison?
Verb.
The verb. We always find our verb first. So we find our verb. After we find our verb, what do we look for next? Deacon?
Noun.
The noun. Then we find our noun. After we have found our noun, then what do we look for? Jackson?
Adjective.
Adjectives. And remember, what are those little adjectives called? What are those little adjectives that we learned? Kaylee?
Articles.
Articles, very good. And who can remember what the 3 articles are? Christopher? Good. The, a, and. Very good. Nice job. Those are our articles that are also adjectives. Well, today, boys and girls, we're going to learn what the 4th thing we look for in the sentence.
No.
So we find our verb, we find our nouns, we find our adjectives, and today we are going to learn about the 4th part of speech. The 4th part of speech, boys and girls, are called adverbs. Listen again. adverbs. Now, adverbs describe verbs. Now look, it even gives you a clue in the word. Adverbs. So if you ever forget what an adverb does, look at the word. It's right there to tell you. Verbs. Adverbs describe verbs. Usually the question we ask with adverbs is how. Adjectives have two questions. What kind, how many? Most of the time with adverbs we can use the question how. Another secret with adverbs is that many times adverbs will be words that end in ly. Now not all the time, but most of the times they will be our lead and slowly word, okay? So many times they will end in ly. So we always find our verb, we find our noun, we find our adjectives, and then we're going to look at our adverbs. Well, let's look at some sentences here about Rocky National Park. The beaver swam quietly. What is my verb in this sentence, Abby? Swam. What is my noun in this sentence, Mason?
Beaver.
Beaver. What is my adjective in this sentence, JC? The. Now, how did the beaver swim? What is my adverb in this sentence, Bryn?
Quickly.
Not quickly. What's the word?
Quietly.
Quietly. You just read it wrong. Quietly swam. I can take it and I can, in my head, go, how did the beaver swim? Quietly. Quietly swam. That answers how did it swim. So quietly would be my adverb and it describes swam. Let's look at the next one. The elk bugles loudly. What bugles here is the noise that an elk makes, okay? What is my verb in this sentence, Kendall? Bugles. What is my noun in this sentence, Ellie? Elk. What is my adjective in this sentence, Christopher? What's my adjective for elk? The. Yes. And how does it bugle? Caden? Loudly. Loudly is my adverb. It describes bugles. Now, in some of the sentences that I read where we were doing our punctuation, I said that the elk had a large rack. That is what they call the antlers on a elk, okay? It is a rack. You can see how large they are right there. All right, get out your pencil and let's look at our paper. Jackson?
Quietly and loudly, they're both answers.
They are. All right, get out your paper and read the orange box for me at the top, nice and loud for me, Bowen.
An adverb is a word that describes a verb. When I saw the spider on my foot, I yelled loud. How did I yell? Loud.
Very good. So let's look at number 1. It says read the sentences. Write the verb and adverb on the line. So let's look at the example it gave us. The sun shone brightly. Shone is my verb. How did the sun shine? Brightly. And look what they wrote down. Shone brightly. Okay? Let's look at the second one. The wind blew gently. My verb is blew. How did the wind blow? Brianna? So what am I going to write down?
Blew gently.
Excellent job, Brianna.
And in the background behind the beaver, it kind of looks like a shark behind it.
No, I don't think there's anything there. All right, so you're gonna write down blew gently. Focus on your work. Blew gently. Make sure you are writing neatly. We always do our best work. Okay, let's look at sentence 3. The deer grazed quietly. Grazed is underlined twice. It is my verb. Grazed how? Campbell?
Quietly.
Okay, so what am I going to write down?
Grazed.
Grazed quietly. Okay, are you caught up to where I am at, or do you need more time? Okay, about 20 more seconds and we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, does anybody need more time now? Brianna? Okay. The last two you are going to do on your own. You're going to write down the verb and the adverb. And then we will check it together. Nimbly means easily. When you have done both of them, I want you to stand behind your chair. Do not sit on your desk, you are just standing on your desk.
You haven't seen my stapler, have you?
No, ma'am. All right, let's look at these two sentences together. Eyes on me. Is that necessary? Don't think so. All right, the mountain goats climbed nimbly, okay? You should have written down climbed nimbly. If you had that correct, 2 jumping jacks. The next one, we watched happily. You should have written down watched happily. If you got that correct, 2 more jumping jacks and then happily. Does anybody have a question? All right, now let's look at the section 2 here. Okay. It says read the sentences and add your own adverb. Look at the hint. Many adverbs end in the suffix ly, which we already talked about. So let's look at the first one. I'm going to do the first one, and you're going to write down the word I tell you. We ate our picnic. How? Quickly. Quickly. And who can tell me how to spell quickly? Mason?
Quickly.
Excellent job, Mason. So you're putting quickly.
Do you put the verb and?
No, you're just writing the adverb quickly to finish the sentence. Hayden, you did not have your hand up. Yes, Hayden.
How do you write quickly again?
Q-U-I-C-K-L-Y. Alright, let's look at sentence 2. I wonder who I think is thinking that I can choose for the next sentence. A chipmunk chattered how? What can I put down? JC? Ooh, that's a good one. So loudly. How do you spell loudly? Luke?
L-O-U-D-L-Y.
Good. Make sure you are writing with good penmanship. Alright, who am I gonna find for my next one? A blue jay scolded how? Jackson? Meanly? Can you think of another word than meanly? That's not really a word that we would use. Quietly? Okay, quietly. We can do quietly. How do we spell quietly? Who thinks they can do quietly? Campbell? You have Q-U-I-E-T. Not Y. Get it confused. L-Y. There you go. Okay. Alright, who is gonna choose my last one? The river splashed how? Kendall. What?
Hard.
River's not gonna be hard. Kaylee?
Calmly.
But it's splashy. So it's not calm. Abby?
Wildly.
Ooh, there you go.
Ooh.
How do we spell wildly? Deacon? Good. W-I-L-D-L-Y. Good. Alright, hold on. Alright, we're going to skip section 3 for the moment and go straight down to our dictation. Okay? Look at dictation. You are going to write a sentence. It is a little bit longer sentence. So let's see who has their listening ears on. All right, shake it off. Okay, hands where they belong. Good posture. Ears are turned on. Eyes are on me. Jack walked slowly down the stairs.
Jack walked slowly down the stairs.
Look at me. Jack walked slowly down the stairs. You may begin. Write neatly. Beautiful handwriting. We always do our best. Remember what the Bible says. Do all things.
Should be done neatly and in order.
Alright, good.
And can you tie my shoes?
After phonics. find your adverb, and I want you to circle it.